is Markin Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans, we marking out, y'all. Follow on Twitter. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans, we marking out, y'all. Marking Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans, we marking out, y'all. Brennan likes fisting. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans, we marking out, y'all. We're marking out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans.
Welcome to Markin Out, Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. This is episode 777. Thanks for checking us out. Please subscribe and download on all platforms that you are listening to your podcasts, such as on Spotify. Buy a t-shirt over at ProWrestlingTees.com/markingout. Give us a like on Facebook. Give us a follow on TikTok at MarkinOut, on Twitter at MarkinOut, on Instagram at MarkinOut11. You can follow me on all social media platforms. That's right, it's Dave the Rave, and you can follow me at DavidPTDPT. You can follow Chris at CMSweeney85 on Instagram and Chris Sweendog on Twitter. And you can follow Brandon at BTTG161. First off, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa to everybody that is celebrating. But Brandon, how are you?
I am doing awesome as always. How about yourself?
Doing great. This is the last episode of 2025.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Definitely ringing in the new year very, very shortly. But how was your week?
It was pretty good. I went to my aunt and uncle's house for the last night of Hanukkah. I was not expecting any sort of gifts because I'm of that age where I don't need to get gifts.
Mm-hmm.
However, my cousin's 5-year-old wanted to get everyone gifts. So I got a gift from a 5-year-old.
That's very thoughtful.
I got baking tins. Yeah, I thought it was very sweet.
Yeah, very thoughtful. Very nice. You'll definitely put that to use.
How about yourself?
I always end up forgetting what I've done. But I had a great week. It flew by. And yeah, the end of the year. I'm just looking forward to next year and I'm just grinding it out to get to the end of this year. And next year is going to be an incredible year. Hopefully I'll take a few more trips and plan out a few things. But yeah.
I mean, we already know you're going to Disneyland.
Yeah, so far I have Disneyland in Anaheim.
Are you also going to Disney World or just...
No. Disneyland in Anaheim, California in February for a conference. And then April going to Epic Universe in Florida. No Disney World yet, but... And then I have a trip planned potentially to Portland in, I think, July. And then I have
Portland,
to go to...
Maine? Oregon?
Yeah. Oh, Oregon. Oregon. And then we have a trip to Saratoga. And then it is time to fill in the blanks where else I will be appearing. So,
where is there
looking
a trip
forward.
to Saratoga? When, I should say? When?
I believe in May. In May, I think. In May, I have to go up there. So, a lot happening in 2026 already.
For horse racing?
What's that?
For horse racing?
You know what? I wouldn't be opposed to it. I have been up there for horse racing at Saratoga before. It's a lot of fun up there. There's a lot to do in Saratoga. I do want to go
I've only ever been to Saratoga Springs.
Mm-hmm. No. I do want to do a few different trips. A few more trips added to there. So
I mean, that sounds like a pretty decent amount of trips, so...
Yeah, but that's only really the first half of the year. I have to kind of round out the second half of the year then. So 2026 is going to be incredible. I'm already putting it out there. 2025 was incredible. 2026 is going to be even more incredible. You know, so looking forward to it.
Well,
but
speaking of 2025 being incredible, I figured this is the last episode of 2025. We should do some best ofs, perhaps.
Yeah, let's
Whether
talk
or not
about
we-
it.
Whether or not we agreed with the major outlets reporting their best ofs.
The major outlets in quotation marks. Give me a break. You should all be fired.
I personally think for Male of the Year, how could you not? Should we just start with that or what?
Sure, yeah.
How could you not pick John Cena?
Very true.
Is that who you picked?
No, I did not. I went with Cody Rhodes.
Oh.
Yeah. I went Cody Rhodes as my pick for Male of the Year. Not John
By
Cena.
the way, if there was anyone other than John Cena, in my opinion, Cody is a fine pick, though. I think Dominic Mysterio did a lot this year.
That's very true. Very true. You know, the way I think it, Male of the Year is like a wrestler that the company is on their shoulders. So that's why I wouldn't really. I mean, it's a great pick, but I kind of view it as they carry the company or pro wrestling. So I went with Cody Rhodes.
I am very curious to hear who you're picking for Female of the Year then.
So I know there's a lot of people talking, and some out there people are saying Hangman Page is Male of the Year, but I
don't see it. Based on what your description is, maybe, but also at the same time, no, because he's like already fourth fiddle. It's like not. I don't. Hangman, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't watch enough AEW to really give a full opinion on it, but I don't know. Even if you compare Hangman Page to Cody Rhodes, I would still go Cody Rhodes for what he's doing for the business in general, not just WWE.
I mean, if anybody from AEW is going to be picked by me, it would be Will Ospreay. He's been gone, but even with that absence, that's the only person I could say definitively. If you're going to pick somebody from AEW for Wrestler of the Year, how do you not pick Ospreay?
Yeah, that's very true too. Will Ospreay has had a phenomenal year. You know,
That's
very
a good
very
pun.
good. Female of the Year. I was stuck between three people, but I am going for
give me your two others.
my two
first.
others. Okay, so once again, not big with AEW, but Mercedes Moné. The case can be made with her winning all the championships and stuff like that. Case can definitely.
Which, by the way, Mercedes, I would say, is the biggest female name in AEW. I don't think most of those titles are meaningless to me. Most of those titles are meaningless to everybody. They're not established on television. Therefore, I don't think anybody should count the championships as far as why she should be Wrestler of the Year, Female of the Year. Mm-hmm. However, if you're going to pick anybody from AEW, it's either her or Toni Storm for the earlier half of 2025.
I agree with you. That's the thing. There are a bunch of titles that it's not like she is champion in, I don't know, New Japan? Or is she? I don't know. I don't think she is.
At one point, I think.
Huh?
At one point?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But also now she's going to lose all of her championships. So,
which I don't think that should factor in at all.
No, but that's definitely something that I do think of when you load up somebody with so many championships at the same time, is that at some point they do have to change hands. And unfortunately, it's going to be in a short period of time, it seems. So Mercedes Moné is one of them, and then the other person I chose was Io Sky.
So who is your pick?
So my pick is actually Stephanie Vicaire. I think
For some reason, I thought you were going to say Stephanie McMahon.
No, I think that Stephanie Vicaire has had such a successful 2025 year. from the call-up to the championships to the popularity over the audience. I think Stephanie Vaquer is definitely up there for Female of the Year.
I picked Io Sky for Female of the Year, and
Okay.
I would 100% agree with Stephanie Vaquer being a top contender as well. If we were going to say breakout, I would 100% have Stephanie Vaquer listed there.
Mm-hmm.
Literally nobody else in pro wrestling, I don't think, had a better year than Vaquer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can say Rhea Ripley's name in there, but the problem is that she does have her injuries occur. And, of course, just like with Cody Rhodes, I do feel like Rhea Ripley has a lot on her shoulders with the division itself. Because, I mean, you hear the pop of the crowd any time that she comes out. But I think Stephanie Vaquer, Female of the Year.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Tag Team of the Year. So for this one, I only actually have one. I don't have any other options that I chose from. People could make disputes and stuff like that. In my opinion, I think Wrestling Tag Team of the Year, the Hardys. I think that the Hardys...
I too have the Hardys.
Is that who you have as the winner?
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any other backups?
That's the only team I had written down. Online, though, when that list from Sports Illustrated first came out, I completely forgot about the year that the Hardy Boys had. Mm-hmm. I said, because FTR was chosen by Sports Illustrated, I don't think they did enough this year to qualify to even be in the top 10. Maybe at the 10th spot. Maybe. I think Fraxium had a much better year. Obviously, they sort of fizzled out towards the end of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they had a much better year than FTR. And that's who I initially picked, completely forgetting about the Hardy Boys. I think the Hardy Boys had probably one of the best years of a tag team in the history of professional wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, they even retired. They retired the Dudleys. And I don't know if we brought it up on the show, but I think it was you, but the ending of that matchup.
Literally last week.
Yeah, but I don't know.
On the show.
You did bring up the way that Bully...
Yeah, on the show.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was on the show or off air that you mentioned it to me, but I thought, yeah, they retired them. I think the Hardys are definitely up there. But, all right, match of the year. Ooh, I only listed one for this one. Do you have
I did
a few?
too. I have one.
Okay. I'm curious if we actually have the same thing listed. I want to say no.
I'm going to say we definitely don't, because I know how you think.
Yeah.
Well, not to say that my match of the year isn't one that you enjoyed.
Okay. All right. Now it's going to be interesting. I guess I'll say it. I chose actually WrestleMania, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky triple threat.
Close, but to me, no cigar.
What did you choose?
Evolution. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley that then turned into versus Naomi.
Oh, man. I was considering that one as well, but I think I had more fun with the WrestleMania one.
I mean, both are top-tier choices.
Yeah. We were so close to almost having the same match of the year, which would have been pretty interesting, because I don't know how often we actually do pick the same exact match of the year without conversing on it. But
Mark out moment of the year.
Moment of the year.
I have mine in date order.
Oh, I don't have mine in date order. So I listed a few things that stood out to me. There's so many things that could be listed, of course. And also, there's so many moments where I pop throughout the year, or same thing with match of the year. There's so many moments where I see matches, I'm like, this is definitely match of the year, and then I totally forget it. So
I write everything down now.
Yeah,
I can't afford to remember 360 whatever plus days.
Yeah, that's going to be my 2026 change for Markin Out. Is I'm actually going to keep track of the matches and also remember what the hell I did over the weekend. Yeah. So my actual...
You literally just have to open your notes app and then you just jot it down.
That's actually what I'm reading from right now is my notes app.
Yeah.
So
if you just copy and paste the format I sent you, you just keep that for 2026.
Yeah, that's what I do. I've been using the Notes app to keep track of everything and just help me. Even though I know for a fact that there's going to be so many times where I skip ahead a match because I lose track of where we are at.
Since mine are in date order, I feel like I should start.
Okay. So just
Something...
are you able to select just one, and then we could still reveal the other ones? But do you have just one from those? Because I could pick just one, but then I could also list the other ones as moments that I definitely marked out for that could be up there for moment of the year.
I could pick one.
Okay, what's your one?
John Cena turning heel at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I mean,
obviously not your number one.
No, it's not my number one. But
was it even? Did it make your short list or what?
It sort of did.
It clearly didn't.
Well, so my mark out moment of the year is John Cena's retirement tour.
Oh,
like that.
I mean, that's close enough.
The entire John Cena run. So that does include his heel run and stuff. So, but his entire run throughout the year was just a total mark out moment for me, because the anticipation of the days, the countdown, his matches, there was just the talk, like after every John Cena interaction or something like that, there was always things to mark out about. I mean, him giving a shout out, him with CM Punk giving a shout out to Ziggler, Cardona, Cesaro, all of those moments. It's just like, so I kind of put it all together as the John Cena retirement tour.
It was actually Matt Cardona, Nick Nemeth, and Claudio.
Yeah. I mean, that was huge. That entire thing was huge.
I guess, should I just do the rest in date order for
you? Go with the rest of yours, because I have a few, but I want to hear yours.
Well, I have Penta's debut on Monday Night Raw, which is something that I don't think a lot of people thought was ever like a possibility.
So that's funny, because I actually have that listed. I have,
and I want to list Phoenix as well, because them being in WWE is just awesome. I can't wait to see them as the Lucha Bros. We almost had it. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, I had similar.
I have Alexa Bliss's return.
Hold on, I put down the Raw debut on Netflix and included Penta with that. So I kind of had that too. What did you have with Bliss?
Alexa Bliss's return at the Royal Rumble. I think that was like, John Cena has been like wrestling very sparingly as of late. Mm-hmm. Like as of late, as in the last few years, not obviously this year. If you're going to do like a comeback of the year, I think it would be John Cena. But outside of John Cena, the biggest, I mean, also I guess AJ Lee returning to WWE. I'll put her there too.
That's true.
Those were
huge.
A very good one. Both of those returns were huge returns, like for pop factors. Mm-hmm. I have Ricky Sainz showing up at NXT. Ricky Starks at the time, we didn't know, because that was completely unexpected. Mm-hmm. He gets, is he released? Is he not released? Is he going to be here? Is he not going to be here? And then he literally, like the next day or whatever it was, boom. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Another huge one. Joe Hendry wrestling at WrestleMania.
Oh, dude, I didn't even put that. But that's totally huge mark out moment.
WWE purchasing, or TKO purchasing AAA.
I actually have
a working relationship with TNA.
I actually have WWE acquiring AAA on my list.
They are now included in that Supercard game, or whatever the game is called. I really hope they have to be at this point. They have to be in WWE 2K26. I don't know how many members of the AAA roster will be part of it. It will be very disappointing if they're just like a DLC pack and it's like, here's 5 people from AAA. Because at this point, I think anybody who's had a shirt on WWE Shop should at least be in the base game.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna do a AAA DLC pack, be classic characters. Be like Conan. Maybe a classic Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, Hoovy, something like that. Maybe even the original La Parka. I don't know if that's even possible.
I think that would be great.
But there's zero reason why, like, Dr. Wagner Jr. Well, first of all, Dr. Wagner Jr. I would pop for if he was in the game too. But El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., Vikingo, Mr. Iguana. There's zero reason why they shouldn't be in the base game. So here's hoping for that. Speaking of the relationship with TNA, AJ Styles being at Slammiversary being what Slammiversary was also at UBS Arena was insane.
That's a good pick.
Also, you mentioned the tour before. Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler being part of the Last Time Is Now tournament.
Mm-hmm. That was huge.
And then outside of professional wrestling, but it's also still part of professional wrestling, which came before Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler being in the tournament, the horrors of the Wyatt Six at Halloween Horror Nights. I think that was really cool to see. At first, when there were rumors and rumblings of it, not a lot of people, but there were those like internet theme park community people that were like, why is pro wrestling getting a house? This is gonna suck. This is blah, 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 blah. And then there were other people who were like, oh, well, I'm interested in this. I'm looking at it as an original concept or idea. I'm not associating it right off the bat with pro wrestling. I'm just going in with an open mind. And then people went to it. Non-wrestling fans went to it. They end up researching the history of Bray Wyatt, the history of the Wyatt Six. There's that documentary on Peacock that they studied for this. I don't know if they're leaving Halloween Horror Nights as a pro wrestling fan where they're going to check it out every single week or whatnot, but they left thinking this is one of my favorite houses.
Mm-hmm.
So
I saw a lot
thank
of
you
that
to that whole team involved with Halloween Horror Nights for getting that done.
Yeah,
as someone who didn't
really
get
cool
to go, but I got to see everybody see it and react to it. I think that was a really cool moment.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Well, those are ultimately my mark out moments of the year. How about yourself? What are your other ones?
So something else that I have listed was that, let's see, I mean, you kind of mentioned it, but I had listed on here Zack Ryder. Well, yeah, Zack Ryder making his return to WWE.
Pulling double duty, by the way, this year. As Matt Cardona in NXT and as Zack Ryder on SmackDown.
Yeah. And then outside of that was it, actually. Everything else I feel like was covered in the John Cena. I mean, the Zack Ryder was covered too. I think everything that I marked out was within the John Cena stuff that was taking place. I don't know. But as a fan for pro wrestling, I think that it was a fantastic year. You know? Unfortunate mark out is the retirement of Tanahashi too. You know?
It's taking place next year.
Is it? I thought that he was retiring this year. Isn't his last? Huh?
Wrestle Kingdom?
Yeah. Oh, so so his retirement match is he going to have only
January
one match
4th.
in 2026?
I mean, probably at least 2, maybe. I don't know how that's going to work.
All right, that works. So, yeah, that is 2025 wrapped up. How did we Lay it on me, Brandon. How did we
Well-
fare with our predictions? How awful and way off were we?
Well, for ending the year as AEW champion, I had picked Darby Allin. You, unfortunately, picked Adam Cole. Adam Cole is out indefinitely.
Jeez.
And Chris picked Will Ospreay.
Chris is the closest.
Um,
No?
I feel like Darby Allin was set up to be AEW champion this year. I don't know what happened. Maybe Mount Everest happened. That other injury happened.
Yeah, Darby was too busy trying to train to climb the Mount Everest.
Ending as AEW Women's Champion, I picked Julia Hart. Stupid freaking me. You and Chris both picked Toni Storm. Not far off.
Not too bad.
World Heavyweight Champion. If only I picked for January. Unless that's not going to happen. Braun Breaker is what I picked. You picked Randy Orton, and Chris picked Drew McIntyre. McIntyre is in the championship scene. Braun Breaker, technically in the championship scene right now. None of them are correct. Ending the year as WWE champion, mine is currently the World Heavyweight Champion, that being CM Punk.
We can accept it.
I was on the wrong brand. You and Chris,
Uh-oh.
do you have any guess as to who you thought was ending the year as WWE champion? It's a doozy.
It's a doozy. Did I say Jay Uso?
I think. No, he's at least on the roster.
Oh, no. Who did I say?
You and Chris both picked The Rock.
Jeez, that's how much they had us roped in at the time for that storyline. If only we knew what was about to happen with that entire storyline.
Raw Women's
Only we
Champion. Well, first of all, that storyline didn't happen. These picks were December 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Ending the year as the Raw Women's Champion, we have me and Chris picked Rhea Ripley. You picked someone who did hold gold this year, tag gold.
Ooh.
Charlotte Flair.
All right. I'll take
None are
it.
correct. Ending the year for SmackDown as Women's Champion, you picked Tiffany Stratton. We picked. Chris picked Bayley. Stratton, I guess, would be somewhat close, but no cigar.
Close, but no cigar.
Royal Rumble picks. I picked Rhea Ripley to win. You picked
Okay.
Asuka to win. Chris picked Jordan Grace to win. None of those were correct. And then for the male, none of us were correct. We all picked one person. CM Punk.
Hey. That's tough.
So, predictions for 2026.
All right.
I guess ending the year as AEW champion, I'm going to say MJF.
I'm going to say Swerve.
AEW Women's Champion, I don't think it'll happen, but I would really like to see Chris Statlander just run with that championship and hold on to it.
I'm going to pick the same I picked last year. I'm going Toni Storm.
World Heavyweight Champion, I'm going to pick the same person I picked last year and pick Braun Breaker.
I am going to pick Gunther.
Okay. WWE Championship, I'm going to pick Drew McIntyre.
I am going to pick Cody.
I'm going to say I hope Drew McIntyre beats Cody the next time they face off for the title.
That would be nice.
Raw Women's Champion, I have Liv Morgan.
I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley.
SmackDown Women's Champion, I am sticking with the current champion, Jade Cargill.
I am going Jade Cargill as well.
Royal Rumble winners. Who you got?
I'm going to go with, for the male, I'm going Braun Breaker. Who are you?
I feel like you have to see how January 5th goes before you pick that, I guess.
I don't know. I don't think he's going to win.
LA Knight is who I picked.
Okay, all right.
They have to do something with him.
I agree. And it's possible it's very possible that we have a WrestleMania CM Punk moment too with him. Maybe he wins the Royal Rumble.
That's also a possibility.
You know, I feel like
Don't
CM Punk
need it.
is due that WrestleMania moment either this year, 2026 or 2027.
What are you talking about? He was main event of the WrestleMania. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but he needs that. I don't know.
He doesn't need anything else. He already main evented WrestleMania.
True. Well, no matter what, I'm going Braun Breaker.
I'm picking Liv Morgan.
Rhea Ripley.
I think it needs to be Liv Morgan.
Yeah, I'm going Rhea Ripley. I don't know. And I also realized probably my actual biggest markout moment of the week, of the year, is going to Dukin. To Doken? And,
going there?
Yeah, going there in Japan. 100%.
Well, those were our predictions. Come back next December to hear how we did.
Yeah, please come back.
Gonna move on to talk about Guerra de Titanes real quick. That took place this past weekend for AAA and technically WWE. Some people on the internet, I don't know, I saw a clip of Dave Meltzer and Alvarez talking about it, saying people are saying this was the best WWE produced show of 2025. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed this show. And it kicked off Octagon Jr., La Parca picking up the victory over Los Americanos, LWO, Nino Hamburguesa, and Mr. Iguana. What'd you think of this?
This was a great opener for this the entire event. This was the perfect opener. It was high flying. It was fun. It was engaging for the entire audience.
Beyond chaotic.
I loved it. Very chaotic.
Conan really said it best. On commentary, Conan said, "Welcome to AAA." I think that's a perfect way to describe this match.
Very chaotic.
I liked Layeska helping out the LWO to do that slingshot springboard gimmick that Joaquin Wilde does.
Mm-hmm.
Bravo, by the way, getting Nino up for that inverted airplane spin, I thought was great. That I feel like should have been highlighted way more than it was.
Yeah, that spot was incredible. The fact that he was able to get him up like that was awesome.
Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. picked up the victory over Ethan Page to retain the championship. Page at one point turned Dr. Wagner's mask around and he tried to use the championship. The referee takes the title away. Ethan Page used a wrench to hit Dr. Wagner with. Mr. Iguana, I was not expecting that. Mr. Iguana runs down, tells the referee. The match, by the way, at that point was over. Ethan Page won the championship technically. Mr. Iguana ran down, told the referee. The referee called it off and reversed the decision, restarted the match. He went for the twisted grin, which Wagner reversed into the Wagner driver and got the victory there. I thought that was fantastic. When was the last time we saw a referee actually reverse a decision?
I don't even remember. But I'm really happy
to see that.
Yeah, and the crowd went crazy for Mr. Iguana making another appearance. And it totally plays into everything happening with Ethan Page as well. I don't know, but that Wagner driver for the win. Huh?
That next match, man.
Oh, man.
Very
Pagano and Los Psycho Circus picking up the victory over Wyatt Six. in a Carnival of Carnage matchup, and I tell you, this was legit a Carnival of Carnage. Starting with Pagano on the Tron, telling them to come after us as they're all backstage, and then the Wyatt Six just hightails it backstage, and they actually find themselves at a Psycho Circus, at a Carnival of Carnage. And it was so entertaining where they start making their way through. They get to that bouncy house, and you don't see anything, but then you have, I believe that was Pagano, that
Psycho Clown.
Psycho Clown appears.
Telling people to come backstage.
Yeah, so Psycho Clown kind of directing traffic with all of that.
When this show started, I thought that the Carnival of Carnage match was going to be inside of like a circular cage, because when they showed the shot from above, or I guess from below looking up above, the Tron that they have in that arena, it and I think maybe because of the roof, I thought it was a cage. So I didn't know what to expect from this match. So when they actually went backstage and did this, it's been, I think, a long time since AAA had a match like this. Obviously, I don't think a Carnival of Carnage match existed before this, but strictly like backstage, even though it did make its way out to the ring. But when they started this match backstage, a bunch of the stuff that they were doing, it reminded me of Crash Holly and the Headbangers from, was it Funtime USA?
Yeah, I could see that.
So that was fun. You had Masquerita Sagrada show up, randomly attacking the Wyatt Six. That was a great spot. Pimpy showed up, kissed Joe Gacy. I thought that got a huge pop from the crowd.
Yeah, they started chanting and reacting to that spot. I really like the fact that they were going booth to booth, and all the booths were curtained up, so you didn't know who was behind which curtain. So I feel like the reveal was great for all of them. And then you had some reveals that was just extras to take bumps by the Wyatt Six. I thought that it was sick where it was, I believe, Rowan put Pagano through the table, like through the top of one of the booths, through a table spot from the stage ramp of the cargo region. That was awesome.
I thought the Wyatts were going to actually win that match. I was surprised to see Los Psycho Circus and Pagano get that victory.
I was happy to see them pick up that victory. I was very happy to see them win. And I think that that's strong for them to pick up that victory, especially because we want to see more of Los Psycho Circus within that AAA and WWE aspect. I mean,
but I want Los Psycho Circus's theme back. I can't stand it. I need it, and it's not going to happen. I just need to be one with it. I have to let it go.
You got to be one with it. I did like the end of the match too, with the Psycho Driver through the table, following ripping off the face. That face rip of the mask is such a clever spot, and the crowd feeds into that spot so well to close off the matchup. It was a lot of fun. Next up, you had Laredo Kid pick up the victory over Javon Evans and Jack Cartwheel to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. This matchup, I feel like, was very similar, a little bit less chaotic. It was chaotic, but less chaotic than the opening matchup. You can still follow it because you had 3 people to follow this time, but they were all over the place, and it's so hard to pick. Yeah,
I think the best thing about this match was that even though they were doing all these fast-paced moves, like the flashy moves and whatnot, they still sold each move. And a tweet that I saw someone say was like, "Oh, I guess WWE fans do like this kind of wrestling." It's not the same. They're selling each move. If you go back and watch that match, there's not one moment where they hit a move and get back up where there's not a move being sold.
Yeah, they still sold the moves. Like, if there was a Hurricanrana, they didn't take the Hurricanrana and stand up right away, no sell it, hit their move, and then get back up and play to the crowd.
I think one of the coolest spots in this match was Javon countering Jack Cartwheel's Jack Arrow with the OG cutter.
That was very cool.
Technically not. I don't know if you would necessarily call that the OG cutter because his is like the springboard version or whatnot.
Yeah.
Randy Orton obviously hits the RKO out of nowhere. Javon is now going to be able to hit that move out of nowhere if that's what we're going to be qualifying as an OG cutter, which I see no problem with.
Yeah, I mean, and then right after that, he hit the OG cutter to Laredo Kid and nearly picked up the victory. And
Laredo
I
Kid
think
doing
that
what's that? German suplex Spanish fly or whatever that finish was.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think it was a dragon suplex. Like he had.
I would say it was a German suplex before a dragon suplex.
No, it wasn't German. I forgot what it was. It was where you have one arm hooked and the other one across the body. It's not a German. I forgot what it was. I was going to look it up to see specifically
what it was. I would have to watch that move, though. I don't never once thought it was a dragon suplex.
Yeah, it was like, I think the dragon suplex is not a full Nelson, is it? Or is it double underhook on both sides? Do you remember?
Assume it's both.
No, it's two separate ones. I forgot what it is when this move was actually in, I think, WWE No Mercy, and I used to use it where you underhook one arm and you do the suplex. But this was really cool with the Spanish fly aspect to it, and I feel like, what's that?
Is the Tiger suplex the full one, or is that half?
I think Tiger suplex is the full one because Tiger Driver is underhooking both. I feel like that's close. But I feel like it's so hard to pick an MVP for this matchup. I mean, Cartwheel was incredible, but so was Evans and Laredo Kid. And it was just a lot of fun with this matchup. And there was no points where the crowd just died down during this.
Yeah.
But Next up, you had Natalia and Apache and Lola Vice pick up the victory over Los Toxicos.
Las
Toxicas. It was a fun matchup. Everybody did really good.
The triple threat heart attack to Lady Flammer was awesome.
Yeah,
and I don't recall if we've ever seen a triple threat, a triple team heart attack.
I don't know
before.
if we have. I feel like we have. I feel like we may have, but it was a great spot, And you had Natty, not Natalia.
Yeah. You had Vikingo pick up the victory over Dragon Lee. I popped at Vikingo's entrance, came out in a custom Grinch mask. His heart, though, did not grow in size this match.
Mm-mm.
They had some really good counters in this match. And it was less high-flying than I expected it to be. I thought that was probably the most interesting thing about this match. The Dragon Karana from Vikingo that was countered into the Styles Clash was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We also saw Vikingo fake a knee injury at one point. Pulls the referee into the way of a dive. Which I don't understand why Dragon Lee would be doing that if the referee's checking on his knee. That part really didn't make sense to me. But Vikingo used the chair, or he tried to use a chair, and Dragon Lee ducked that. He hit Operation Dragon, but Vikingo was able to low blow him. And because the referee was down, Omos showed up. He takes Dragon Lee out. Obviously, he's jealous that he's no longer tag teaming with AJ Styles, and Dragon Lee seems to be tag teaming with AJ Styles. And he hit the highest last ride I've ever seen, by the way.
Yeah.
And
that was
Vikingo hit
incredible.
the 630, almost sent the referee into the ring, and Vikingo gets that victory. And then Dorian Roldan came out afterwards, celebrated with them. We have a new version of El Ho-Ho. With the three of them, I guess. A group that JBL and Conan were also part of at one point. Dragon Lee's father was sitting ringside, La Bestia. And I think I think this feud or whatever they're doing here would have been like really awesome if Roosh and Dralistico were available for it. But I have to assume that we're going to be seeing El Ojo versus AJ Lee at some point.
Yeah, that would be cool. Hopefully WWE can get their hands on them.
I mean, I don't think that's happening. Apparently, Rush was very instrumental in getting Andrade out of his WWE contract. So
yeah,
it seems like Andrade will be showing up at World's End.
It seems like it. But main event of the evening, Rey Mysterio and Rey Fenix picked up the victory over Los Gringos Locos 2.0. This matchup was a great finale for this entire event because we actually got Rey Mysterio versus Dirty Dom in the match a lot.
Given how over Los Gringos Locos have been, I thought we were going to maybe hear the crowd boo Rey Fenix and Rey Mysterio. That didn't happen at all. And they were actually booing Dominic, cheering El Grande Americano. And this was a fun match. El Grande Americano at one point tried to load his mask. Penta ran down to stop it.
Which got a
loaded
huge
his
reaction.
mask. Yeah, and he loaded his mask, hit the headbutt on Dom, led to Rey Mysterio getting the victory. And then after the match, Dom, I thought, when I first saw the aftermath, I thought El Grande Americano pushed Dominic. Dominic pushed him after he helped him up. And then Dominic left. El Grande Americano shakes hands with Rey Mysterio before leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Fans went nuts for that. So, overall, I enjoyed this event. Moving over to Monday Night Raw, which opened in the backstage area with Paul Heyman and Austin Theory, where Austin Theory told Paul Heyman that he wants to help out the Vision. Last week, I said we don't know if Austin Theory's in the Vision. This week, he's asking Paul Heyman to help them out. And then the Vision asked Paul Heyman about Austin Theory, and Paul just spoke about his vision for WWE in the future and how he sees one for Austin Theory.
I don't know
if
about
it didn't
you,
go
but
well,
they
it could carry him out of WWE.
I don't know if it didn't really, this opener didn't hook me into really feeling like I wanted to watch Monday Night Raw. Like, I don't know if it's Woods or something like that, but it just didn't hook me and say, okay, I need to see how this plays out now. But that's just me.
Who is Woods?
First match of the night, Asuka picked up the victory over... What's that?
Why did you say Woods?
Whatever his face is.
Austin Theory?
Theory. Yeah, Theory.
And then also
Theory.
later on, Bronson Reed and Austin Theory disagreed on how the match would work, which I thought was interesting going into that. But we'll put a pin there.
Yeah. But Asuka picked up the victory over Rhea Ripley. This match was one that you could have expected to take place, especially
I would have
with everything that
preferred
happened the
for
week after,
them
week before.
I would have preferred for them to not go outside the ring as much as they did, but I think given the misting from last week, I understand them doing so.
Mm-hmm.
But Kyrie got involved a few times. Rhea asked Io Sky to stay in the back because she was hurt. But when Kyrie got involved the second time, Io ran down, and Kyrie ends up taking Io out. That distracted Rhea Ripley, and Asuka was able to get a quick pin over Rhea. Overall, though, I enjoyed that match.
Mm-hmm.
Becky Lynch afterwards came out. Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed that. Becky Lynch trashed Grand Rapids, Michigan. This was supposed to be Maxine's time, and Maxine came out. She said that Becky Lynch is the greatest of all time, but she beat her 3 times. So what does that make her? And Becky Lynch, she said, could have the rematch, but she'll stop at nothing to beat Becky Lynch again. I think this was a good fired-up promo from Maxine. She said all she wants from Becky Lynch is for Becky to admit that she beat her. And she knows that Becky Lynch won't do that. And she knows that
I was even surprised.
her best
I was
years
surprised
are...
that she was even there.
Why?
I don't know. I kind of thought that we were going to see her just distance for a little bit as she went through all the lawyer stuff.
I don't think that would have been good.
May not have been.
And then Becky Lynch, of course, attacked Maxine. Maxine ends up getting the ankle lock in her locked on, but that has me worried. That has me worried that the next time we see them face off, that maybe she will lose the title, and I hope that's not the case. We saw Javon Evans pick up the victory over Rayo Americano. I think it was great to see Javon on Monday Night Raw. Also great to see Rayo. We got big mentions of Conan and Mil Mascaras during this match. As far as the match itself goes, when Rayo hit that Michinoku driver, I thought that was about to be it, and I was kind of confused because to me that would have been like an out-of-nowhere victory that wouldn't have made sense to me. But Javon eventually hit that OG cutter. I think it's very interesting that we saw that big face turn from El Grande Americano at Guerra de Titanes. It doesn't translate over to Monday Night Raw.
And I kind of wish that it did. But I guess that kind of, I mean, it's the same thing with Natty, with it not carrying over.
Right.
But it should. Like, especially something like Javon Evans and Riot, like that stuff should carry over.
And also commentary made mention that Javon will be a free agent soon. So call up 2026 is coming.
Yeah. I mean, it makes you kind of wonder about everything taking place on NXT a little bit, but yeah, we're going to see that happen.
After that very interesting promo from Nikki Bella came out, kind of did what Becky Lynch did. Kind of did the same thing in trashing Grand Rapids, Michigan. She spoke about what she did to Raquel and how she'll destroy Stephanie Vaquera next week. And she said that the title will belong to her. There is a triple threat next week for that championship between her, Raquel, and Stephanie Vaquera.
Yeah, we'll see how that ends up going.
I would like to see Stephanie Vaquera continue as champion.
I think she will.
As a shock moment, though, anything is possible.
Yeah, actually, I kind of maybe we do see Nikki pick it up.
Shocking moment for having not been in WWE for a while, I should say. Nikki Bella walking out as champion. Shocking victory, as in, like, I don't think anybody would expect Raquel Rodriguez to walk out as champion. All possibilities here.
Yeah, that's the lovely thing with WWE right now is there's a lot of things that are just unpredictable, I feel. Something that was a little bit less unpredictable. You had Bayley pick the victory over Roxanne Perez.
Why did you split up her name?
I don't know. It was a good match.
I liked Bayley hitting the Bayley to belly pretty early on in the match. This match also went outside the ring.
Yeah,
and when they did go outside, it was to work on Bayley's knee. We saw Raquel get involved, which led to Lyra taking her down. Liv Morgan then took her down. Liv got involved again to distract the referee while Roxanne ends up ripping the turnbuckle pad off. Bayley gets sent into it. But for whatever reason, I didn't understand that at all. Raquel got up to distract the referee. I didn't get that spot at all. And then Liv and Roxanne Perez argued. And then Lyra takes both of them out. Bayley was able to take over. And after Lyra had slapped her to fire her up, and she hits that elbow drop, gets the victory. Backstage, the three of them all argued. Finn Balor's just sitting back, like, enjoying life. Knowing that it's not him this time causing the Judgment Day anything. But Raquel ends up walking off to say she has to go focus on a title match to get ready for.
Yeah, she stormed out of there, and I mean, we spoke about it not last week, but the tension is starting to brew up again. I feel like Judgment Day is never without any tension for too long within that entire chaotic group.
Like, the way that they sold this makes me think we could see Liv Morgan cost her the match next week.
I could believe that. Whether intentionally or unintentionally. Maybe it's unintentionally, but
hopefully
it was actually intentional. You know? We're going to find out, though.
After that, Gunther came out, like last week, to a sea of booze. And he told the people that they shouldn't be mad at him. They should be mad at one person, the person who tapped out. Which
like
I think
a little
is funny.
bitch. I feel like that's going to be,
I didn't
if
want
it's
to
not
say
already.
it.
Huh?
I said I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, I'll say it. He said that phrase again. I feel like at some point they're going to put that on a T-shirt, though. No, like for him to say it back-to-back weeks makes me think that that's going to be his thing that he continues to carry over.
Then CM Punk came out, got in Gunther's face. Gunther left. Rey Mysterio came out for their match. Gunther laughed, by the way, in Punk's face. He laughed in Rey Mysterio's face. And that flowed right into the main event where the Vision picked up the victory over CM Punk and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. He also laughed in
Theory.
the face of AJ Styles, too, again.
Yeah. Austin Theory's now dressed like he's a member of an offshoot member of the Shield or something.
Yeah.
Something very interesting. When Bronson Reed and Austin Theory had their disagreement earlier on, Austin Theory told Bronson Reed he was going to start the match, and he started the match. He walked into the Vision and took control, almost.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
But then also I think you also had Braun Breaker backstage telling Reed that he supports him, I feel. But
yeah, the match was pretty even, though. It kind of felt more like a live event match than a Raw main event to me.
Yeah.
Did you feel that way?
I agree.
I liked when Ray was on Bronson Reed's shoulders and Punk did the knee to his face that he does in the corner, and then Rey Mysterio rolled through, set him up for a 619. Rey Mysterio didn't realize that Austin Theory tagged himself in. Theory cuts that 619 off. Although Ray does eventually get to hit that 619 on Austin Theory, Bronson Reed breaks up the 3 count. And then Austin Theory ends up crouching Rey Mysterio, hits the stomp to get the victory.
Which was good that he picked up the victory, I feel.
CM Punk went to attack Austin Theory after the match, and Theory escaped. Braun Breaker ran down, and CM Punk attacked him. Then Austin Theory jumps back in. CM Punk takes him out, but Punk ate a spear to end Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, back-to-back spears leading into their title matchup at the first Monday Night Raw of 2026.
Nothing is definitively saying that Austin Theory is working, or in the Vision, I should say.
Yeah.
It was sort of an audition, but what if he's actually working for Seth Rollins?
It's possible. I mean, he is doing the curb stomp.
Especially
Very
because
possible.
When we first found out about this, Paul Heyman said, I have no idea who this is.
Yeah, and they're still playing it off. They still have no clue why he's doing what he's... I mean, they know now what he said, but it's not a part of the plans.
Should be interesting to see.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Moving over to NXT, it opened up with Lola Vice picking up the victory over Izzy Dame. This another even match, but Shawn Spears got involved, which gave Izzy Dame the upper hand for a bit. And then a chainsaw went off. Tatum Paxley cut through that platform at NXT. She chased Shawn Spears away. Lola Vice hit that back fist and got the victory.
Yeah,
no mention of Nico Vance.
I thought that this was great. I thought that it was a lot of fun, especially the surprise of Tatum Paxley coming out with the chainsaw to lead into the finish of the match. She
And then
didn't even
Kalani
get physical
Jordan-
with... Huh?
Kalani attacked Lola Vice after.
Yeah, I thought it was great because you didn't even get Tatum Paxley getting her hands on Izzy Dame, but she still ended up costing Izzy Dame the match.
Yeah.
Very good. Next up,
Yeah,
you had
Thea Hale initially backstage. She and Jordan Grace spoke. Jordan Grace was watching the clip of her becoming champion last week, and Jordan Grace was like, "You definitely won. Shoulders definitely on the mat. Referee counted 3." That story came out this week, even that the Shawn Michaels, as well as other people, they were like, Shawn Michaels, Matt Bloom, and other referees said that the referee was not in the wrong to do what he did. The story ends at Shawn Michaels. If Shawn Michaels says that the referee was in the right to do so, it's a non-story to me.
I mean, who knows the truth, too?
Obviously, right.
That's
But
the thing,
Thea
too.
Hale came out.
Who knows the actual truth? I mean, Shawn Michaels could be whoever. Even if anybody backstage is saying anything. Who knows what's what?
But Thea Hale addressed the crowd, and she spoke about her history in NXT, Chase U, her friendships, how she was fresh. I think she was in high school when she signed with WWE. I think. But she spoke about how many people doubted her. Fired up promo from Thea Hale. And she said she finally feels confident. And then Blake Monroe interrupted. She said it was a mistake, a fluke. She demanded a rematch, which Thea Hale was like pitying her almost and said it for New Year's Evil. And then Blake Monroe, because of that pity factor, attacked Thea Hale. I think that was
this
good.
was perfect. Yeah, great. I think that Blake Monroe coming out in her evening gown, well, I guess nightgown, just so, I don't want to say really disheveled because she still looks not really disheveled because she's just gorgeous, but she's portraying just like she's been through one hell of a week since losing her championship. And I thought that it was a great build-up with everything. And I like that it was a great way to bring into New Year's Evil, where Blake was just like, I don't want your pity. And it just led into everything.
And then backstage, Jackson Drake grabbed Blake Monroe to have her talk to Swipe Right, and they gave her gifts because they think she should still be champion. Then Ricky Smokes stupidly questioned what if Thea Hale retains at New Year's Evil. And she angrily made them leave. She made them keep did she try to keep the presents? I don't remember. Or maybe they had new presents for,
I don't recall.
Whoever. But they also tried to regift them, so. They interrupted OTM. I assume that's going to lead to a match between OTM and Swipe Right. I don't know.
Yeah. Next up, you had Tavian Heights pick up the victory over Eli Knight to advance in the Speed Tournament.
Is that not a confusing-ass name to say?
Eli, oh, that's funny. We may have
just
to...
the fact that Eli is close enough to L.A., but also the fact that his old name was Eli.
We may have to change something there.
I don't know.
We may have
but
to
I'm glad that they aired that video package for Knight beforehand, just in case you don't watch Evolve or you don't know him from Reality of Wrestling. I think Knight feels like the right fit for the Speed Championship, and I think he was impressive in this match.
Yeah, it was definitely very impressive. I mean, it just ended up that he was so impressive that his high-risk move ended up costing him the matchup because that led into the belly-to-belly from Tavian Heights to pick up the victory with, I believe, like 15 seconds left.
Yeah, like that aided standing moonsault that he did off the corner of the turnbuckle I thought was great. And then, like you said, he missed. But even though he missed, the moonsault attempt that he had was a really cool moonsault.
It was. And I actually misspoke. It wasn't. The next match is 15 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, later on, you had Lexis King pick up the victory over Andre Chase to advance. I think it would be hard to think of Andre Chase advancing in that. But when he had that submission locked in, I was like, oh, maybe it's a possibility that he's going to be the one beating Lexis King here. Lexis King eventually got out of it. He kicked Andre Chase right in the face. Andre Chase was wearing a mask for a previously broken nose. And then Lexis King hit the coronation and got the victory there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
between Lexis King and Tavion Heights, I would have to assume it's going to be Tavion Heights, but
It's tough to really say. I mean, I think that Tavion Heights, it's about time that he does pick up the victory for everything that he's been doing. I feel like we've been
I don't think
closer. I think we've been itching closer and closer to Tavion Heights and Lexis King having their past and beef and everything like that. I'm gonna go with Tavion Heights when they face off.
But I don't think it's hard for me. It's hard to think about Jasper Troy losing the title.
True.
So I don't necessarily like it would be. I feel like it would maybe even be better if Lexis King won. This way, it's not Tavion Heights losing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Lexis can recover more so from a loss than Heights.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Next up, you had backstage a sit-down with Obafemi and Leon Slater to hype up their New Year Evil fight that they're going to be having. I thought that both of them were really good on the mic. I think that everything that needed to be said was said between them, and I kind of like the fact that it didn't get physical at all.
Yeah, I like the dynamic of this segment. Like, they both knew where they were going, where they're at, I guess, going into the match. Leon Slater knows that it's an uphill battle. And I don't think Obafemi's underestimating Leon Slater here. So I enjoyed that.
I agree. Yeah, he's definitely
You had
not
Javon Evans and Ricky Saints have a face-to-face. Saints said that he checks every box when it basically comes to being champion, being WWE superstar. If he was champion, he could be the one going to Good Morning America every week or whatever it was. Javon said that he knows he at least checks the boxes backstage-wise because he's been on Monday Night Raw. He's been on SmackDown. He didn't mention it, but he's used in AAA. He was handpicked by John Cena to be on his final show. So he knows that boxes are checked for him. And he also didn't beg for the fans to pick him over Ricky Saints. He questioned why he's supposed to slow down. And Ava sets up a match for the two of them one last time next week. I don't know who walks out winning that match.
It's
like you said, with the free agency looming, who knows?
Yeah, it's tough to make a call on that one. But next up, you had Shiloh Hill and Skylar Ray pick up the victory over Stax and Ariana Grace in a Christmas Chaos matchup. I think the part that I really liked the best was Hill doing this, I call it the spiral bomb through the table to Stax. Well, I mean, with pine cones as well.
That pine cone spot, I popped big time for that. I thought that was hilarious. This match was weird to me, though.
I thought the call commentary was funny, though, too, with the pine cones, where they mentioned that he probably ate a few of them.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah. This match, I feel like neither of these teams are established enough as teams that would warrant a match like this. It was also set up on Twitter, but the match was fire. It was fun. I enjoyed this. And I think it's good to see Hill and Ray get victories here. I popped that Shiloh Hill used it was gift wrapped, I think. He unwrapped it. It was a keyboard, given that his web gimmick or whatever. I popped even more when they got into the chicken spot and Vic Joseph was about to question whether or not they were levitating. Like, it's a funny commentary line there. The bowling ball spot I thought was funny, where Ariana Grace pulled back. She went to roll it to Shiloh Hill. She ends up hitting Stax below the belt. Skylar Ray hit that frog splash, got the victory.
Yeah. It was a fun match. Like you said, the establishment of everybody to do something, but they definitely. But
it's also it's good. They both won LFG, so now we see a good big victory. Is it a big victory? Maybe.
No, it's a start of a victory. Yeah,
it's just a very weird start. It's just a very weird place to start.
Yeah, but let's talk about the end, which was the main event of the evening. Chelsea Green picks up the victory over Sol Ruca to retain her championship. We got to see Sol Ruca whip out that cartwheel DDT again, which is always such a crowd pleaser with that. And you had Ego.
That got broken up because Ethan Page put her foot on the rope.
Yeah.
Which then Zarya argued with him, and Moose came down to brawl with Ethan Page.
Mm-hmm.
Sol Ruca went to the top rope, and Alba Fire knocked her off, and then that led to Chelsea Green winning. But this was a very good main event.
I agree.
And then Zarya hit the spear afterwards and took both of them out, and Sol Ruca hit the double soul snatcher on Chelsea and Alba Fire, and that's how it ended.
Yeah, crowd goes home happy.
Yeah, so that is NXT. Moving over to SmackDown. It opened up with a Joe Hendry concert. You had Alpha Academy there. You had R-Truth involved. Truth was dressed up as an Easter bunny, which we didn't find out it was R-Truth until the actual match. But Miz eventually interrupted this. Joe Hendry had people sing the song even louder. It led to the match. Joe Hendry picked up the victory over The Miz in a Miracle on 34th Street fight. The guitar spot I thought was really funny, where Joe Hendry pulled out an actual guitar and Miz pulled out a ukulele, which he threw down, and then he pulled out two tiny little ornaments, which he also threw down. But it was quite the festive match. I like Joe Hendry doing the fall-away slam to the Christmas tree into The Miz. I feel like that has to be maybe the first fall-away slam to a Christmas tree ever. I don't know. But Miz escaped the standing ovation twice. Tozawa, he had Christmas cookies. He got taken out for a bit. The bunny was taken out for a bit. Otis ends up snatching the kendo stick and breaks it in half. Hendry had Alpha Academy and the bunny get into the ring. They all took turns hitting moves on Miz. That's when we found out that it was R-Truth. Truth hit the five-knuckle shuffle. Obviously, he thought it was Easter. And then Joe Hendry eventually hit the standing ovation through the table to get the victory there. Jade Cargill was interviewed backstage, and she spoke about Mia Yim having to attack her with a kendo stick last week because Mia Yim is scared of her, and how she doesn't need weapons because she is the weapon. I thought that was a good line from Jade Cargill. They had Mia Yim and B-Fab talking after that. Mia said that next week she's going to be humbling Jade Cargill. I don't think so, but we'll see. You had Charlotte Flair pick up the victory over Lash Legend. Lash controlled a lot of this match. Early on, Flair had like a small little comeback. That was shut down. Eventually, she reversed the Lash extension with the DDT. She hit the moonsault on Lash Legend. Lash kicked out, but then Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss were involved. Charlotte was in the corner off of a reversed, figure eight, you would say. And she ends up hitting that sunset flip powerbomb, or just a sunset flip, not necessarily a powerbomb, but a sunset flip to get the victory over Lash Legend. I feel like Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss really didn't need to get involved there for that spot to happen. But later on, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte were talking. Rio interrupted to remind them that they have a tag title shot coming up. And then Nia Jax and Lash Legend came in yelling. The Kabuki Warriors showed up yelling. Nick Aldis set up an 8-woman tag match for SmackDown next week. An 8-woman tag match that actually makes sense. So God bless them for that. You had Carmelo Hayes pick up the victory over Ilya Dragunov to become the new U.S. champion. Dragunov gave Carmelo this title shot because it wasn't sitting right with him how their match had ended last time. But this match, it was a very surprising ending. On one hand, I'm like, I really don't want to see Ilya Dragunov's reign come to an end because these open challenges have been incredible. But on the other hand, I'm very happy to see Carmelo Hayes as champion. And this match, like the other matches of these open challenges, like I said, this was a very good match. Carmelo Hayes caught Dragunov with a kick to counter the H-bomb at first. Dragunov caught the first 48. He put Carmelo Hayes on the top rope, and then Carmelo ends up slapping him. He headbutts him off. Dragunov counters nothing but net with the kick. Dragunov eventually goes for another H-bomb. It gets countered. And they kept going. Carmelo Hayes countered a superplex with a cutter. That was awesome. Dragunov hit a Death Valley driver on the ring apron. Climbed to the top rope again to maybe hit a coast-to-coast. Carmelo ends up catching it with the first 48. And then he goes up to the top rope again. He hits nothing but net, gets the victory there. Very awesome to see that. And then backstage, Carmelo Hayes was interviewed. Johnny Gargano attacked him. And he said that title is his. So we're going to obviously see that coming up. We saw, I guess technically the main event, Julia and Kiana James picked up the victory over the Green Regime. Kiana, I thought, was very good in this match. I think everybody played their part really well. But Julia, in the end, hits the Northern Lights bomb on Chelsea Green, gets the victory there. Throughout the night, though, we had stuff with Nick Aldis, Drew McIntyre, and Cody Rhodes. At one point, Trick Williams spoke to Nick Aldis, and he said that Monday Night Raw is ready to throw him a bag. The bag, perhaps. And then Cody interrupted and asked to talk to Nick Aldis, so he asked for privacy, I guess. And Trick Williams came back after that and warned Cody about the WWE Championship and holding on to it. To end SmackDown, Drew McIntyre came out. He finally paid the fine. He finally apologized to the referee, but he also spoke really down to the ref. Got personal and everything. Cody came out, and Drew egged Cody on to punch him. And he got personal with Cody as well. He announced the match for the WWE Championship is going to be taking place, I think he said 2 weeks in Berlin. 3 stages of hell. I don't know the last time we saw a 3 stages of hell match. And then Nick Aldis had to hold Cody Rhodes back. Drew McIntyre said, and when you're down there in hell, make sure to say hi to your father for me. Cody, while Nick Aldis was holding him back, elbowed him in the face. And it seemed like that was done on purpose. And Cody turns around, gets smacked with the Claymore, and that's how SmackDown ended. I really, because of how that ended, it makes me think Drew McIntyre's not winning, but I really do hope we see Drew McIntyre walk away with that WWE Championship. That was SmackDown. Going to do a quick little break, and I'll be right back here on Markin Out.
What's up, everybody? This is Dolph Ziggler, and you are listening to Markin Out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Markin Out, episode 777. Moving back to AEW Collision from last week. It opened up with Jack Perry picking up the victory over Speedball Mike Bailey to gain points in the Continental Classic. I'm glad that Jack Perry won this. As a replacement, how could you expect him to go far? But he definitely needed the win here. I liked the way Jack Perry dropped Speedball onto the steps outside. I feel like you don't see something like that. Though in the way he did it, obviously people drop people on the steps all the time. When Speedball reversed the second snare trap attempt, I thought that was about to be it. Because it was a pin, and AEW loves doing those pins, and I'm glad that that wasn't the ending. I also have no idea if he's going to be using that teardrop suplex that he used as a finisher. I wasn't expecting that to be the end for Jack Perry, but I appreciated the ending there. Yet Eddie Kingston pick up the victory over Nathan Cruz. Absolutely 0 point to having this match. Grizzled Young Veterans were with Cruz in this match, and they beat up Eddie Kingston beforehand. Alex Windsor picked up the victory over Mercedes Moné to become the new Rev Pro champion, which I think is a great spot for Rev Pro. For Mercedes, I know she's crashing out over the loss, but these aren't titles that matter. I didn't even know that this one title was actually 2 titles. Even the Ring of Honor TV Championship, that it doesn't matter. None of these are established on television. Both of the Blue Thunder bombs in this match from Alex Windsor, I think, were crazy. Who knows when the next time we'll see Alex Windsor is, but I'm glad that she got the victory here. Main event saw Kevin Knight pick up the victory over Okada to gain points. Very surprising win. This might be the biggest surprise of the Continental Classic, having Kevin Knight go over Okada. I think a lot of people would have also said that this was a surprise. I wish Okada would wrestle like he wants to be there, though. How can I get into a match when he looks like he doesn't care that he's in the match? The best part, though, I think, was Okada drop kicking Knight midair when he was going for that coast to coast. In the end, though, Okada went for the Rainmaker. Knight rolled it into a pin. Knight's shoulders looked like they were also down on the mat for the count, but he gets the victory. On AEW Dynamite, 34th Street, Hammerstein Ballroom, Christmas Eve edition, Takeshita picked up the victory over Orange Cassidy to gain points in the Continental Classic. Early on, there was a really good near fall from Orange Cassidy that I think it would have been awesome if it was the actual ending of the match. Just to have like a quick pin just for the shock factor. Eventually, though, Orange Cassidy hit his big moves. You had to know Takeshita was winning this. I think Takeshita's winning the whole thing to further push him for Wrestle Kingdom. And I don't think this match needed to be as long as it did. I think it was like, 15, 16, 17-ish minutes. But after that, you had Mascara Dorado pick up the victory over Roderick Strong to gain points. I like that arm drag through the ropes from Dorado, but I don't need to watch match after match where people are going outside for absolutely no reason. That spot started with Roderick Strong leaving the ring for no reason. And I think as far as the Continental Classic goes, I think both Mascara Dorada and Roderick Strong were wasted in this tournament. You had face-to-face on the stage with Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter. I honestly don't think this was good. Chris Statlander spoke. She said what she said. Jamie Hayter ends up swinging on Chris Statlander. Statlander blocked it. None of this made me think that Jamie Hayter deserved a title shot here. Yet MJF pick up the victory over Dustin Waller. Absolutely ridiculous. Beyond ridiculous. MJF beat an enhancement talent in a match that I don't think needed to happen. Sets him up facing a champion who is Samoa Joe. That, I think, is the dumbest, poorest booking I've seen in a long time. Afterwards, MJF spoke. Hangman came out. Then Swerve came out. They both appeared in the stands at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Hangman yelled at MJF for bringing up the garbage he brought up last week, rightfully so. But then it was later on in the promo brought up again. I don't know who okays that. I don't know why that's necessary to bring up. At all. At all. Zero reason to do that. But he said that he's going to beat MJF up. Swerve also made his way to the ring. The Ops, the dojo fellows from the Ops ran out. They got taken out. MJF ducked Swerve and Hangman. And then Samoa Joe showed up on the screen and said that he's going to come for each of them one by one, which I did not get because it's a fatal four-way match. And then MJF tried to sneak attack Hangman. Hangman knocked him down. Swerve hit the house call. Hangman choked him with the chain. That's when he's brought everything up with last week. And then also the other stuff that he was saying that wasn't about last week, I really feel like 100% could be applied to Swerve. You had Bandito pick up the victory over Ricochet to win the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Like I said last week, both of them are champions. I don't need to see both of them win this match when they both have a reason to defend their title, to build their own title. And honestly, I think this was probably their worst match of 2025 for each other. Not each other against each other, but I think separately, I think this was their worst match. It was predictable. It was sloppy at times. The Demand obviously got involved. Ricochet continued the attack afterwards until Brody King ran out, and that was the end of that. You had Marina Shafir pick up the victory over Mina Shirakawa. Mina told Toni Storm that she wanted to do this on her own. So I think right there, you had to know that Mina Shirakawa was not going to be winning this. I liked pretty early on in the match, Mina Shirakawa was attacking Marina Shafir's knees. I think the sit-out knee smash that she did was cool. I don't necessarily think it would have hurt more, though, for her to do a sit-out version of it. I feel like that would have hurt her more. But I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that, so I liked the concept of the move, I guess. But, of course, like I said, you had to expect Mina Shirakawa to lose. Eventually, she gets choked out. Shafir continues after the bell. Toni Storm ran down, boom, got taken out right away. So they're definitely building up Marina Shafir. For what, though, I don't know. Main event saw Jack Perry pick up the victory over Pac to gain points in the Continental Classic. Darby was not cleared to be in the rest of the tournament. Ends up returning 10 days later. And then gets attacked by Gabe Kidd, leading to the end, to World's End. Jack Perry, regardless of getting these points, you know he's not moving on. And then for Collision, again, Christmas Day Collision, I read the results. I just, after watching Dynamite, I couldn't sit through this. Kyle Fletcher picked up the victory over Jack Perry to gain points. Like I said, you knew Jack Perry was not getting points. Takeshita picked up the victory over Massacre Dorada to gain points. You knew Takeshita was winning. Takeshita, most likely, winning the tournament. Roderick Strong beat Claudio to gain points. Kevin Knight and Pac both gained a point for a time-limited draw. Babes of Wrath picked up the victory over Hyan and Maya World. This is not how you build a team. They shouldn't be facing enhancement talent. They are the champions. AEW forgot to make an actual tag division before introducing the titles, so the champions suffer here. You just had them lose their first match, which was a meaningless 8-woman tag. It set up a pay-per-view match that shouldn't have happened yet. This tag title division was doomed from the start. You're not putting effort. What does them beating enhancement talent do? Oh, it gets them a win before the pay-per-view, before they face Athena and Mercedes Moné. That does nothing. World's End taking place, Chicago. Now Arena. I assume they're going to be adding a ton more matches. The Continental Classic semifinal matches, you're going to have Takeshita versus Okada. I'm going to say Takeshita. They did so much to draw out Takeshita versus Okada, and it goes to the semifinals here. I think that's dumb. Fletcher versus John Moxley. I'm going to say Mox. And then Takeshita versus John Moxley. In my scenario of those two winning, I'm going to say Takeshita. Like I said, I feel like he needs to be strong going into Wrestle Kingdom. Darby Allin versus Gabe Kidd. Darby Allin. FTR versus the Bang Bang Gang, even though they just had that match. Chicago Street Fight for the tag team titles, all because the Dax's, what's his name? Cash got Dax's foot on the rope, even though the referee didn't see it, according to the... such a stupid ending. FTR. Babes of Wrath, defending the championships against Mercedes and Athena. It has to be Babes of Wrath. And then who they go on to face after that, I have absolutely no idea. Sisters of Sin, probably, but there's no division. AEW Women's Championship on the line. Chris Statlander defending the championship against Jamie Hayter. Statlander. Although I wouldn't be surprised, given how Dynamite went, if Jamie Hayter won, but I would really like for it to be Chris Statlander. And then you have to assume the main event, Fatal 4-Way, AEW World Championship on the line. MJF cashed in his contract to get this. The Casino Gauntlet. Samoa Joe defending the title against Swerve, Hangman, MJF. Like I said a few weeks ago, I would really prefer for Samoa Joe to retain, but with MJF cashing in, how could you not pick MJF here to win? And then I have to assume, well, not have to assume, Bandito won the Dynamite Diamond ring. It would set up MJF versus Bandito. I think that's a no-brainer booking. So, MJF wins the World Championship at World's End. We'll see. But that is AEW. Hey, Brandon. Got any shout-outs?
Listen to Brandon's shout-outs, because when there's shout-outs, there's honey.
Percy Jackson and the Olympians gets the first shout-out.
Oh, that's what I wanted to watch.
Is out now on Disney Plus. The full season will be out by the end of January. What? Yeah, the second season, brother.
I thought that it was a movie.
No. The first season, it's crazy because the first season was out in 2023.
Uh-huh.
First of all, there are Percy Jackson movies. You could find the Percy Jackson movies on Disney Plus. This has nothing to do with those movies.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I thought that... I didn't realize that it was a TV show. I only thought that they had Percy Jackson movies and everything.
This is
I didn't
a
realize that it was
television
actually...
program with Edge on it.
Yeah, I thought that Edge was a part of the movies.
No.
I didn't...
I think the main storyline of this season is going to be them fighting a sea monster. Given like all the promotional stuff that I've seen about it, the promotional billboards they had, the promotional billboards were like living billboards. They had actual water that would spill over from it, so I think that was really cool. But like I said, it's awesome to see Edge on the show, and I enjoyed it. So it's out on Disney Plus. Check it out. My next shout out goes to Happy's Place, which is in its second season. Reba stars in it for NBC as someone who inherits the bar from her father. She discovers that she has a much younger half-sister, which they clash at first. That's in the first season. They get along now. They run it together. Melissa Peterman is also on the show, so you have a little Reba reunion there. But the reason why I'm giving this a shout-out, I enjoy the show. I should have given it a shout-out last year, perhaps. But Christopher Lloyd and Carol Kane guest starred on it this past week. Both of them were obviously on Taxi together. They were in Addams Family Value as well. When
both are total legends. I mean, Carol Kane, from like also Princess Bride, Christopher Lloyd, Back to the Future, and just legends,
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool.
Legends.
My last shout out goes to Adam the Woo, who unfortunately passed away this week at the age of 51. He was a vlogger that I watched just about every day for I think maybe 13 years or so. He'd have a daily upload almost every day, so it's crazy to, like, I'd literally wake up and then go to YouTube, watch the new vlog. And I first knew of him due to his urban exploration videos. He'd go into abandoned places and just vlog about it. One of those places was Nickelodeon Studios in Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida, where I got slimed. So it was really cool to see, like, it was just there. It was still standing. It was, I don't remember if they changed the outside at that point yet. Mm-hmm. But it was just cool to see the stuff that was the remnants of what was once a working studio.
Yeah,
and
very, very sad in the passing.
He was eventually banned from both Universal Studios and Disney World for doing that. Though Disney World lifted the ban, he would do other theme park content. He would do Dollywood, Knott's Berry Farm. He would do cons. Dragon Con was a big one I'd watch every year. I mean, obviously I'd watch every year. I'd watch every freaking day. But he would do movie and TV show locations, roadside attractions, other pop culture events and videos. Occasionally there'd be pro wrestling. He was friends with Tom Wilson, who played Biff in Back to the Future. So he would be on from time to time, and I always enjoyed them interacting with one another. I saw Adam recently at Epcot when Bowling for Soup played, but I didn't go up and meet him. I think if I had somebody to watch my seat, I would have. But through him, I've seen so many places. He just got back from Europe the other week. He went to the real Matterhorn, which was really cool to see through the eyes of a Disney fan. A bunch of years ago, he did like 5 years straight in an RV. And I know he talked about getting back out for America's 250th birthday to travel to the small towns, the back roads again. I really wish we got to see that. And there are like so many quotes of his that just go through my head. Like when I'm at Disney World and I see the monorail go by, I hear him in my head saying, "There goes the monorail." That was just something he said, obviously, when he showed a monorail. He just seemed so friendly. It's definitely a big loss. Truly a trailblazer in that industry. if you're thinking about getting into vlogging, he's the blueprint. And I think it's also really nice hearing so many stories of from people who were inspired by him, people that he helped elevate when he didn't have to. It was wild seeing outlets like USA Today, People Magazine, TMZ covered it. But like I said, he was a trailblazer in that style of vlogging. So my condolences go out to his family, his friends, all the fans around the world. He has over a decade worth of content you can go and watch.
Yeah, I mean, I've been able to watch a few of his stuff, and that kind of led to me watching other people vlog their backstage tours of Nickelodeon or Disney, and exploring like the I think it's like the Island of Adventure or something like that in Disney, like the stuff that is
River Country.
Yeah, like that's just off.
That's what got him banned from Disney World.
Yeah, like just watching all of that content and everything, and it led me to going down spirals of rabbit holes of watching other people's content. So just very unfortunate and sad. And if anybody does go into it, also just be careful, please.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I always get nervous whenever I watch them because it legit, like when you're walking through the backstage of a studio or unkept region in Florida, you don't know what could be out there. So I was always like very nervous for them too, especially when you start to hear the security's coming.
I feel like in a lot of those urban exploration videos, the people don't necessarily like show themselves because you're not really supposed to be in there, but he was there. And a lot of people were like, a lot of people that eventually went on to know him were like, whatever you see in these videos is just him. And that's why so many people can say like, oh, I felt like I knew him. So it's definitely, I can't believe it, but it's such a shame. So go watch any videos. There's even at one point when he was doing the RV trip, he just by chance ran into Billy Corgan, who was also at that time doing a 30-day RV trip. And he was filming it, doing like trying to get like inspirations to write music and stuff. Back, I think it was when the time he was with TNA. But Billy Corgan, they randomly meet and they're eating lunch together. Billy Corgan buys him lunch. It was just like by chance that he happened to be there. That was one of the coolest moments that I remember seeing. But, yeah, like I said, go watch his content. Those are my shout-outs. Now it's time for
Mark Out Moment of the Week.
That is right, our Mark Out Moment of the Week. I gotta say, for me, a Hanukkah miracle happened last week. When I checked earlier in the day on WW Shop, as I do every day, for new items, maybe to see if the Broski of the Week t-shirt was restocked in my size. It was not. And then, for whatever reason, I checked later on in the day, and it was in stock, so I finally got the Broski of the Week. 2-time Broski of the Week. I deserve that shirt, damn it. I got it, finally.
That's awesome.
I feel like I can't not mention Ariana Grande hosted SNL this past weekend, and they did a Home Alone video, which I thought was one of the funniest things that I've ever seen on SNL in years.
Yeah,
at
they
least.
did a very good job with that one.
I had tears from laughing from it. She played Kevin McAllister. It was just like pop after pop after pop in that segment. I thought it was so well done.
Yeah, they did a very good job with that, you know?
Yeah. You have any mark out moments?
You know, I think, and also, like, it sucks that Bowen Yang is leaving, too. The
mid-season.
SNL cast. Yeah, it's not too often that you have people leaving mid-season, so it makes you question why. He has grown.
It makes me question why he couldn't take the other two with him, but
yeah, I know. Yeah, there's a few people on there that we can do without.
Took too long for you to hit with that one, but
yeah, I know. But it's nice to see that he got his his very last skit was very like a nice send off, and he got to do it with
that was a nice way,
and also Cher,
who
he said on an interview that Cher was his if there was a skit that he would ever want to be involved with, it was Cher. So his final skit was with Cher. So that was very cool to see. Very happy for him, and we wish him the best. I think that another mark out moment for me was, let's see, I did mark out for getting a Paul Heyman autographed trading card and a Randy Orton autographed trading card off of eBay. So happy, very happy about that. And also, I think a mark out moment for me is also Canelo Alvarez appearing on AAA. The crowd reaction, Canelo
when he took off that La Parka mask, that big pop for that.
Yeah, that was huge. Another mark out moment, Jake Paul got knocked out.
That's a mark out moment.
Yeah, I wanted to see him lose. I wanted to see him lose. I did not want to see him break his
in two places.
Yeah, I did not want to see him fracture any bones or anything like that, but he did get knocked out. It would be wild. What if they just staged all of the his jaw being broken if the stuff that they actually showed is not actually what happened? Like I don't know, man. I saw his mouth. I don't know.
If mouth look like that. I've never looked at a bottom jaw before, though.
I mean, it would just be wild if they just continued to work people. And then Logan Paul is getting people interested now because he's putting up his multi-million-dollar Pokemon card into auction next year. So it's going to be interesting to see what that sells for as well. I mean, it's the same one that he wore out to WrestleMania 2, and that me and you got to see at Fanatics Fest.
WrestleMania 2? Just kidding.
Yeah.
Also, you could see that video on our TikTok. The Pokemon card. I also, a few weeks ago, I mentioned how cool it was that Marty McFly was part of the Battle Pass in Fortnite this chapter. This week, first of all, it's annoying. They released a DeLorean that you have to buy. It's, I think, technically like $20-something if you buy it, which is, that's trash. That's a trash price. It's even worse when, apparently, if you were an early player of Rocket League and you bought it as DLC, it was $1.99.
Oh, geez.
And you just got it grandfathered in with your game. But they released a Doc Brown skin to purchase. I very, very rarely buy skins in Fortnite, but I thought it was just like such a serendipitous thing that the day after Adam the Woo passed away, they added this skin from his favorite movie. And he has a movie poster signed by so many members of the cast, the crew. So I thought, why not get this skin and complete the Doc and Marty set? So I got that. I thought it was, at first when they showed off the Doc Brown, it was like, who the absolute hell is that? That looks awful. And then like another image of it leaked, and it's like, oh, thank God they fixed that. It looks like Doc Brown now. So I've been, and it comes with a Lego version of him, just like the Marty has the Lego version too. So, and I predominantly play Lego, so I appreciate those.
That's perfect.
And then just to tie it back to Adam the Woo, go again, watch his videos, watch his content. He spread so much positivity in the world. So
yeah,
it's a big loss.
And next time we do record, it is going to be 2026. So we wish you the very best to close out 2025 and an amazing 2026 to each and every one of you listening. Thank you so much for listening to us throughout the years, 2025, and please continue to listen in 2026. But happy and a healthy new year to each and every one of you.
Yeah, so if you feel inclined or so, you could follow us on Twitter at Markin Out, at BTTG161 on all platforms, Chris Sweendog, Sam Sweeney85, David PTDPT on all platforms, Facebook.com/Markin Out, YouTube and Instagram Markin Out 11, ProWrestlingTees.com/Markin Out if you'd like to purchase some merchandise. At Markin Out on TikTok, you could rate, review, subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, YouTube, markinout.com, and we wish you the
Best of luck
in your future endeavors. Have a fantastic year.